The testimony of 1716. From death to the promise. My life began on January 2nd, a fresh start for the new year. But for decades, it felt like a losing battle. I fought mental health disorders, suicidal thoughts, and the heavy weight of alcoholism and drug addiction. For a long time, the shadows weren't just external. They were the voices of depression and the grip of the enemy trying to pull me into the sand. The ultimate turning point was 07. I was dead on the side of a highway. They had to use the defibrillator on me 3 separate times to bring my heart back to life. The 777 was God's seal of perfection, but the road didn't get easy right away. I went back to the bottle. I ended up in prison twice for battery to public safety officials. The result of intoxication and a mental breakdown hitting me at the exact same time. I was a man fighting the very people trying to help me, because I was still fighting the darkness inside. For years I struggled, but then came the beginning of 2024 in the middle of all the confusion and the spiritual things I didn't understand. I finally prayed a desperate prayer. I told God, if you're trying to tell me something, you're gonna have to smack me in the face with it, because otherwise I'm gonna miss it. Those were my exact words. I woke up at 3:30 a.m. that morning and went to the bathroom. As I walked back toward the bedroom, I passed the microwave. It normally has 2 dots between the hour and the minute, but those dots were not there. If the power went out and came back on, it would have showed 12. I saw 1716 without the dots. I started to step into the bedroom, and then it hit me, smacked me in the face with it. I realized then that after all the years since that highway in 2007, these numbers weren't a coincidence. They were a guide leading me toward the person I was truly meant to be. The darkness has no power when the light is living in you.
One leadership, new beginnings and independence.
7 spiritual awakening, divine perfection and intuition.
One leadership, new beginnings and independence.
6 harmony, balance and service to others. The burden of the beginning. The number 1 represents the start for me. It was January 2nd, a new year and a new life. But it also represents the years I spent standing alone fighting mental health and addiction. It is the number of independence. But for a long time, that independence felt like a lonely battle in the dark. 7, the divine intervention. The number 7 is the mark of God's perfection. This is the miracle of 07 when I was dead on that highway and brought back 3 times. That was God stepping in to finish a work I couldn't do myself. It represents my spiritual awakening. The moment the light broke through the death I was living in. The new leadership. The second one is my new beginning. It's no longer about the old struggle. It's about leadership. It represents me stepping out of the shadows and taking authority over my life. It's the strength to stand firm and lead others by sharing the truth of what I've been through. The life of service. The number 6 represents harmony and balance in the Bible. Man was created on the 6th day to work and care for the world for me. This number represents my responsibility to stay balanced and be of service to others. It is the peace I find when I use my testimony to help someone else find their way out of the pit. 1716 is more than a number. It is the map of a man who was lost, was dead, and is now alive to serve.